The Penguins close out the non-conference part of their schedule Saturday night against the Towson Tigers, a team that YSU hasn't played since 1991. Coach, you mentioned earlier, this is their first home game. There will be plenty of excitement on their side of the field.
Without question. They've been on the road for 3 straight weeks, so, a 6 o'clock game, night game in Baltimore, and, we're going to get their very best.
Let's take a closer look at the Tigers. They're 2-1. Their only loss coming to Maryland. This was this past Saturday. It's the first home game. They play at Johnny Unitas Stadium. YSU leads the series 4-0. Last game again is in 1991, and their quarterback is Andrew Indorf, who throws for $172. Do you educate your players on Johnny Unitas?
Yeah, we did. I'm sure we had to, and he was an alum there because I did all that research.
I thought he was.
Yes, I know. So, but no, the great players there, and we told them who's their greatest alum was David Meggett.
David Meggett, yes.
Who played in the NFL for 10 years, and I'm aging myself, but I was there in 1991. It was a grass field. It was right before the playoffs, and it was a mud game that the Penguins won. A tight, close game.
So, Coach, they're 2-1. They played a big-time opponent, as you did on Saturday. They're a pretty good football team.
They are well coached. It starts at their offensive line, defensive line. They got big guys. They got 3 returning guys on the offensive line. Their quarterback can throw the football. He goes to a receiver. Has been an all-league receiver for him, number 0, John Dunmore. So they can create some explosiveness offensively. And then defensively, they play with 3 big guys that try to eat up your whole offensive line. And they got a lot of skilled athletes that just chase the ball down once those guys eat up your offensive linemen.
So certainly it's their home opener. They'll be jacked up for that. How do you kind of offset that?
We got to focus on us. It still comes down to our execution. We can't make mistakes. You can't have turnovers. You're not going to get any advantage. Things we can't control,
sure.
Officials.
Sure.
You score 6 against Villanova, it comes off the board on a bad call. Guess what? Those things can happen in the game. Guess what? Keep fighting, play for 60 minutes, play for 4 quarters, and focus on that execution.
Health-wise, I know you guys came out pretty healthy, and knock on wood, you guys have been pretty healthy this season.
We have, and you're going to get dings, and for us, it's about depth and having the next guy ready. And I didn't tell you, I told you in the press conference, this is probably the first time we went to Michigan State with 15 redshirt freshmen. So, we got to continually build that depth so if a guy goes down, someone can step in.
Obviously, this travel's a lot different than we're in high school. So how have the young guys adjusted to that?
That's the one thing I told those coaches, you better tell them when to show up for meetings, team dinners, because they get an itinerary, and there's something all day long, starting Saturday morning, that you got to be on time, you got to be ready to go, you got to be focused, you got to be locked in. And, travel is very important, how you travel. I've learned that from Coach Tressel.
Sure.
How well you travel determines how well you play.
We're going to take a look at the rest of the Missouri Valley Conference schedule. As we do that, Coach, it's a night game. You guys are going to go down Friday. You have to wait a long time.
Yeah, we do. But, we have a plan. We've played night games. We've sat around in hotels before. So, for us, it's just having our guys ready to go at 6:03. And how do you do that? You got to make sure they understand the game plan. They understand the keys to the game of taking care of the football, making sure we're tackling better this week. That's an improvement. And playing with a lot better fundamentals on our special teams.
Yeah, we're taking a look at the rest of the Missouri Valley Conference schedule, the non-conference. And I know, are you happy to be out of non-conference play?
Right now, we said 4 games will determine how well we do in our conference, and this is game 4. So, again, we talk about growth from 1 to 2, but we got to keep growing as a team. I told our team Saturday, we have potential. We're not there yet.
Sure.
And we got to make huge strides from where we were last Saturday.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Safe travels to Towson, and best of luck to you and the Penguins.
Go Gwins.
All right, when we come back, we'll visit with defensive line coach Ray Hunter when Penguin Game Day continues.